Welcome to Center for Hope and Safety. We're a nonprofit organization that provides services to victims and survivors of domestic violence. We provide an array of services to help them be safe as well as rebuild their lives.
The Community Services Department services included are case management services, career services, and housing services, and all in broad, providing an intensive wraparound service for all survivors where they're able to come in, receive assistance with completing applications, either through Board of Social Services or any type of eligible programs or grants in the community, as well as receiving ongoing financial literacy courses, assistance with building credit, as well as improving and creating resumes and cover letters. And another great addition that's part of our Community Services Department is our access to our pantry. Our pantry provides products for the community at any time, where it ranges from food, non-perishable items, baby items, food items, and clothing for all to use.
I'm the director of the children's program. I'm also an art therapist, and I work in the safe house. We call it shelter, and I also run groups, community groups for those who are survivors of domestic violence. They live in the community. They're no longer in the shelter, but they come through to join the art groups because they're able then to share their stories with each other and offer and receive support. So let me tell you a little bit about the children's program at the shelter. The most important thing when the child arrives at the shelter, they meet with me, and we have groups also in the shelter for children, mostly from ages 5 and up, so they're able to speak and communicate and tell stories and be in a group where they can support each other. The number one goal is to stabilize the child at the shelter, because they come in after traumatic events, and being able to meet with us, and I do also individual sessions, but in groups it's really important when they actually can share stories and suddenly find themselves not so isolated. They find that other kids have gone through similar experiences, and there's nothing wrong with who they are and what, you know, who mom is coming into the shelter, but many kids experience similar abusive situations.
I work with the kids. Usually when the kids first come in, we try and get an intake done, assessment with the mom as soon as we can. And that assessment gives us a little bit of information regarding what services we might need to refer the child in, it being early intervention, counseling. It also allows us to see if the child should remain in their current school if the mom feels that it is safe. If the child does remain in their school, we do arrange transportation. If the mom does not feel that the child is safe staying in that school, we do transfer the child over, and I will support them registering this child into our local school where the shelter is located. We do provide them with school supplies, backpacks, and again, transportation if needed. If the child, most of the time they're under school age, we do provide them with Office for Children applications to see if they're applicable for that service. After that, we try and support the parent enrolling them in daycare. The mom can start working, get back on her feet, and be financially independent.
So this is our Project Child clinical room. In this space, we provide creative art therapy to children from the age of 4 through 12. They work with their art therapist. They choose whether they're puppets, books, games, music, and they process the trauma that they experienced while living in a family with domestic violence in this space.
I'm the supervisory clinical case manager of the Transitional Housing and SSF programs, which is our rapid rehousing program, and it stands for Safe and Sustainable Futures. Our transitional housing program is our second tier housing program, and it's up to 2 years, and we pretty much pick up where they leave off from the safe house with working with the clients. Our clients are offered services from our internal department, such as legal, housing, career, and Project Child therapy for their children, as well as a plethora of external resources like Bergen County Board of Social Services, from Housing Authority of Bergen County, and Office for Children, which is a huge piece. Our clients start their journey here because they need a little bit more time before they move forward into sustainability and independence.
So we're the legal department of Center for Hope and Safety. We offer free representation and advice and counsel in family law matters. We work with restraining order matters, divorce matters, custody matters, child support matters, and any other family law matters stemming from domestic violence. We also offer free representation and advice and counsel in domestic violence-based immigration with help with U visas, VAWA, and other immigration relief from domestic violence.
So we do understand that dealing with the domestic violence issue has a huge emotional impact, and we are trained to not only deal with the legal aspect of it and to do it strategically to make sure we make the most practical decision for our clients, but to also nurture their emotional side, which might be anxiety or anything else.
Paralegal here. My job is to do intakes. I conduct intakes for family law, domestic violence. I ask for temporary restraining orders. And then once I do the intakes, I get all the evidence and I pass it on to the attorneys, and then they decide whether we can take the case or not.